I think that we can say without a doubt that ultimately the definition of tolerance and forbearance or patience really hinges on the definition of moral truth, and I might say biblical truth. And so, when does tolerance or patience become righteous, and when does it become sin as it relates to our practical activity day by day?
I think that it's appropriate to be tolerant in that we respect fellow human beings as having worth and value because they're made in the image of God. But it becomes wrong, sin, and perhaps a barrier of cowardice behind which we hide when we give up the idea that there is truth to be proclaimed and defended. Obviously, we respect all people, and we dialogue in a state of respect and rationality. But nowadays, because the new order is assumed to be right, and, basically if you deny transgenderism, that's an act of aggression or evil or hate. Sam and I talked about this yesterday. We're to the point that rational discussion is not even permitted. You're a hater, you're phobic. And so the tolerance of respecting fellow human beings, even those with whom we disagree, has really digressed into the left, the hyper-tolerant, the enforced thought control, speech control tolerance, commonly known as the Democrat Party. They don't even allow you to have a rational discussion or rebuttal. By their definition, you are hateful. You are less than human. You are not worthy of being heard or even seriously considered, not because your arguments are fallacious, far from it, but because you have dared say that homosexuality is a sin. As I think of Paul McHugh of Johns Hopkins 4 years ago, when Bruce Jenner began to come out as Caitlyn, and this mental health professional, he said Bruce Jenner needs therapy, not surgery, and he was denigrated. Ben Carson last week, who said he said, look, I'm a medical doctor. The transgender people need not surgery or cultural endorsement, but they need help. And of course, he's castigated for saying that. We're letting the deniers of truth, the haters of that which is moral and right, and frankly, the haters of God, we're letting them control the narrative. And Sam and I, we can talk about this, but are all people worthy of respect? Of course, because we're all made in the image of God, and we have inherent dignity and worth because we're human beings. But we've got to remember, different worldviews and different philosophies are absolutely subject to critique, rebuttal, and abandonment. And so we've got to proactively defend truth and more cogently and prayerfully than ever refute that which is erroneous.